Hi, I'm Victoria, a licensed esthetician. I'm with Maddie from Glow On Studios. We're in our cute PJs, and today we're going to be spilling the rosé. I'm going to first go into just some things being a licensed esthetician. I first want to talk about the Hydrafacial.
Ooh.
This is a juicy one, right? Spilling the rosé.
This is a really juicy one.
Yes.
It's going to get a little wet.
Yes. So you have, so we obviously, there's the Syndeo, the newest one out.
Yeah.
And then there is the Elite, there's the Allegro. Mm-hmm. Which device do you have?
I have the Allegro, and I'm so sorry to say, but I feel like I made a good decision with it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what the Elite is, but I know the difference between the Allegro and the Syndeo, mm-hmm. which is $25,000 versus $45,000.
Mm-hmm. With all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
Things you could do with your hands, right?
To do the exact same facial.
Yeah. No. I mean, it gives like a cool look, of course, but
it's beautiful.
Yeah. So what would you say, like, so you have the Allegro. What would you say, like, I mean, do you regret not getting the Syndeo at all?
No.
Do you wish that you had the fancy bells and whistles?
No. With the Allegro, like, the only thing that I wish it had was a cart. Mm-hmm. Because the cart that I have, I made sure it, like, could take the amount of weight that the Allegro machine is, and I'm just really nervous that it would, like, break on me, and it's kind of bulky. That's the only thing I don't like about the Allegro.
But it is so sturdy. That bad boy is sturdy.
Oh, yeah.
Fun fact, I actually did invest in the Syndeo.
Oh,
yeah,
did you?
I did about a year ago.
Okay. Did you like it?
I honestly loved it. I loved the aesthetic of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I am attracted to things that look pretty. So it's beautiful. I love the touchscreen aspect of it. Would I necessarily say it was worth $20,000 more? No, in my opinion.
Yeah.
As a solo esthetician, especially.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people get caught up on big estheticians that carry the Syndeo, but I went through a lot of devices, to say the least, to eventually where it wasn't worth it for me anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that I love Hydrafacial. I love everything about it. I would never get like a knockoff, in my opinion. I don't think it's worth it. No. What are your opinions on that?
Yeah, no, I would never get the knockoff. You know, I personally haven't used a knockoff. Mm-hmm. So if they made one that was just as good, okay, sure. Yeah. But also, like, the solutions are really high quality, and they wouldn't work in a different machine. And the machine is proven to work.
Exactly.
And you are paying for the name. Mm-hmm. They have a really good company behind the Hydrafacial. Marketing, yeah. I will let you in on a little secret about my machine.
Oh.
So my machine, I think I paid closer to $19,000 for it.
How did you do that? Spill the rosé.
Okay. Twist my arm. It was a floor model.
What?
Yeah. So they used my machine maybe less than 20 times at trade shows. And I think it was like around the time that the Syndeo had just came out. And so I think that they were trying to get rid of their Allegros, and they wanted their Syndeos on the trade floors. So yeah, mine was used.
Wow. No.
But bought through Hydrafacial.
Take notes, right? That's awesome.
It was a really good deal.
I don't even know if they're actually, I've heard that they're not even selling the Allegros anymore. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe I'm spreading rumors right now, but
it could be.
No, that's crazy though. That's awesome. I mean, I think it's really cool to know those little tiny things to try, at least, you know, when you are investing in an expensive machine. No, that's crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing.
It is. Yeah. I got super lucky. I kind of like pushed back right away, because I wasn't really down to pay $25,000, which is a lot of money, like, especially like as a, newer business owner. Mm-hmm. I think when taxes came in and like shipping and all of that, it ended up being close to like $25,000, but the $25,000 would be close to $32,000 with taxes and everything. So it's a lot of money.
No, I think it's really important when you're like investing in a machine to know that it's going to be worth that your clients are actually going to buy it, right? I think that there's a lot of pressure as a solo esthetician to have a fancy machine, but I think that, I mean, for me too, I actually had the Syndeo, and I had a lot of problems with it. And at the end of the day, I realized that for my business, it was worth just having the Hydrafacial that had no problems. It's the OG, right? Like it has no issues. So that was really important for me to like have a functioning machine rather than aesthetically pleasing. So I'm 100% there with you on investing in the Hydrafacial, but it doesn't necessarily have to be
you don't need the fancy
big boy fancy machine, right?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like a lot of pressure though to like, I mean, I don't know if you feel that way, but I feel like I'm missing out in a sense.
I don't know. I kind of like it when people message me and they're like, is that a Hydrafacial? Like, I've never seen that model. And I'm like, it is. Yeah. And it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Like, it's possible. I think giving, newer SDs who maybe can't afford a $45,000 machine, like a little bit of a hope that they can have a Hydrafacial.
Yeah.
It's nice. I like it. I don't really feel the need to have the Syndeo. Like, I think the only part it would have been beneficial is when I was training my employee, and like the Syndeo does tell you step by step what to do.
That's a good point, because somebody who's like, trained in Hydrafacial, they know the settings by heart.
It's so
like,
easy.
Yeah, it's like second nature.
Yeah,
right?
I could do it asleep.
Yeah.
But my employee, when she's learning, she's like, wait, what comes next? Like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
What tip do I use? It is a lot of little steps. So that would have been nice.
No.
But now she's got it.
Have you gotten like the solutions down? Because I felt like with the Syndeo, I was drowning my solutions. It was coming out like I could barely get any treatments out of it. Like, it was crazy. How many treatments do you feel like you can get out of your tabletop?
A lot. A lot.
Yeah.
I don't think I could like put an exact number to it, because I think it's different when you do like the Luxe versus the Signature. But yeah, no, I feel like I get like a good amount. I feel like I'm probably like lighter hand with it, and I've learned that over time. But yeah, that's interesting, because one of the things that they were trying to sell me on the Syndeo was that it is really good about keeping you under check with like how much product you're using.
That's so funny. I'm sorry. It's just like hilarious. Yeah, no, it's very interesting. No, I'm right there with you though. I think that as like a fresh business owner, going solo, if you're going to invest in a machine, like, to be honest, I feel like the tabletop's the way to go. That is my biggest advice for somebody going solo nowadays is people look at me and they're like, oh my gosh, I need the Hydrafacial. And I'm like, girl, you need to invest in the tabletop, like the Allegro, not the big boy machines. Cause it does the same thing.
Yeah.
And if anything, you get more solution out of your out of your treatments.
Yeah. Have you felt like with the change for you that you've used less solution?
Oh yeah. I can easily get like 15 treatments out of like 15 people, versus I was probably doing like 6 to 8 treatments out of one out of the whole solutions. Yeah.
Wow.
It was
so
crazy.
Over double.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like I can like confidently, I think something people don't talk about is like Hydrafacial has always had a great name. They've always had great marketing. They've always had, great support. And I think that's something like, not to bash, any machines, but I think that's something that people don't think about when it comes to Hydrafacial, the trademark, is that the support that you get with Hydrafacial, as much as it like may suck in some situations, I feel like you get way more than getting a knockoff, machine. Yeah. I genuinely had my machine replaced 5 times, and without a question, they were getting me a new machine. It may have taken a little longer sometimes than I would like, but I think a lot of people don't realize the difference between like investing in Hydrafacial versus getting a knockoff, right?
Yeah, you're not going to get that support with a knockoff.
Yeah.
I will say too, like mine, when it first came in, it didn't work, which was super fun.
Ooh. You're like, I have all these treatments lined up.
No, yeah, I was so excited. Just spent, all my money on this machine. And it didn't work. It was very nerve-wracking, but they were able to get me a new machine, I think within like 3 days, just like a loaner. And then they fixed mine and sent it back out. And so I had that, machine as a loaner. But yeah, you don't get that with a knockoff, especially like something from like China. You need like support here in the US. You need
totally. You need somebody that can like come in person.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Have you had like a recent rep situation change? Like,
yes.
What is that all about? Like, do you feel like you have I know that we have like physical support with our machines. Do you feel like you get the same support with, like virtual? Your reps, like virtual, when you reach out to somebody?
I mean, when I reach out, yes. But I will say, to spill the rosé a little bit, when I hired my employee, I was pretty disappointed in Hydrafacial. because I had to fight so hard for someone to come out in person and train her. My employees very much like me, like we're hands-on learners, and I wanted someone to be here and like show her, okay, this is how you hold it. I've been doing Hydrafacials for a long time, like almost 4 years now, and I know how to do a Hydrafacial. I don't know how to teach someone how to do a Hydrafacial. And so I really wanted my rep to come out here. She was able to do me a big favor and like get a rep out here. Eventually, it did take a lot longer than I would have liked. And I'm pretty sure it's not a service that was actually provided by Hydrafacial. They just did it as a favor, which I think when you're spending that much money, I mean, I wasn't asking her to come out once a week. I wanted one person, one time in the entire time I've owned the Hydrafacial machine. So
yeah, I definitely 100% agree with that. I just recently noticed the change in reps in Hydrafacial of the support that you get with it. And I think that's really like a good point though. I can think on the top of my head a few companies where I feel that support and that I feel like it's mutual. So I think that investing in a machine or investing in products that aligns with you, but you know, you want it to be mutual. I think that that's something that you just want to feel good going into. You want to feel you have that support. So investing, you don't want to feel
like another number to them.
No. And reps are, you know, a little slimy. I mean, in my opinion, not slimy, but you know, they can be.
They just want your money.
They just want your money.
They work off commission. Like
exactly.
I understand. I get how it works.
But we also have to have a mutual respect towards each other, right? Yeah. Like we're in the industry together.
I'm a person. This is my business. This is my small business.
Exactly.
My business depends on how well you are. The service that you provide me.
Totally. That's awesome. I also wanted to ask another question in regards to like lines. So we're talking about lines right now. So you are, you know, diehard. You're a Lyra clinical partner. That's so exciting. What does that actually mean?
Yeah, so the Platinum Partnership basically means that I've spent X amount of money with them. To reach Platinum Partnership, you have to spend over $75,000 with them a year.
Wow.
Which can be broken up like in quarterly too. And I think there's one level above me, which is Diamond, which is you have to spend over $100,000. So not quite there yet.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. That
says a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I think what really helps me is like, I love the line so much. I personally use it. I've gotten all my friends, all my family, my boyfriend uses it. And I believe in it. And, you know, the proof is in the pudding too. Like I've created some really cool before and afters and it's worked on all my clients and
would you say that a lot of your majority, is it like 50-50 in clinic and online? What is your biggest revenue come from online, from sales for retail?
Yeah. So I think one thing that I do that makes it a lot harder for me work-wise, a lot more work. But something that I like to do to get back to my clients is I kind of figure out, okay, how much time does each product last my clients? And the typical timeline for a Lyra clinical product, more like a serum or a lotion, is about 3 to 4 months. And we want to change up their skincare regimen, you know, as their skin changes. So we don't want them to be on a product that lasts for a year because you might not need that product in 6 months. So I've kind of figured out, okay, every about like quarter, basically, I try to do a sale. That way my clients aren't always repurchasing for full price. And that does bring in, you know, quite a bit of revenue too. It does make me work my little tushy off. I'm trying to fill all those orders. It's honestly a lot more.
You get a lot of orders. I see it on Instagram. I'm like, wow, she's killing it.
Yeah. I mean, those sales, like, you know, I do them for my clients. And yeah, they're also, you know, great business for me too. Professional skincare is really expensive. And so if I can provide it to people at like a little bit of a lower cost, I'm happy to.
Yeah. Because you care about people and the results at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. I want people to use good quality product. So I want to make it, you know, affordable, accessible. So yeah, online, you know, during those sales are a big hit. And then, in person, you know, I see the majority of my clients in person. Awesome. I do have some virtual clients, but I would say maybe like 30% or less is virtual. And then the rest is all in person.
Wow. So you obviously, are your acne, you know, transformations strictly from Lyra Clinical?
Yes.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. I use one other skincare line, Hydrapeptide. I love
them.
I love a handful of their products. I don't think they're as results driven as Lyra Clinical personally. I haven't tried, all of their products in a while, just when I have tried them previously. I love Lyra. Lyra's what's worked for me. It's what worked for my clients. And so I fill in, some gaps that Lyra has with hydropeptide.
I think it comes from a personal experience, right?
Yeah.
From you. Did you ever struggle with acne? Did you?
Yeah. Still to this day.
So you are, you use these products to cure your acne. And so would you say that, so you use Lyra Clinical for your acne transformation. So would you say that's like 90% of your retail then?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So I use Face Reality.
Yeah.
I've been using them for about a year now. I would say that that's where all my acne transformations come from.
Okay.
You use Lyra Clinical. I would love to hear your viewpoint on just what has worked best for you, what your favorites are, and if you've had any personal experiences with any other lines, things like that.
So I feel like I've tried a bunch of different skincare lines, and I haven't ever tried like an entire regimen from one other line other than Lyra, because they're my ride or dies. I love them so much. And honestly, if you've experienced acne or if you've had acne, you're a little traumatized and you don't want to switch up your regimen that's been working for you and try something new because you have a fear that it's not going to work. And then you're going to have to start from square one. So I've never tried like a full regimen from another skincare line, just like bits and pieces from, different products. And I've just never been as impressed with anything as I am with Lyra. Even just like down to I actually have tried Face Reality before. And I was really excited about them, but honestly, like, they smell super clinical. They don't smell good. When I wash my face with enzyme cleanser from Lyra, like I feel like I'm in paradise.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And so it's just like little things like that I'm personally drawn to, that I just love about Lyra.
That's so interesting. So it's so interesting that you say that, because whenever I smell Lyra, I personally don't like Lyra. Like the smell
Really?
I do love their products, but like it's interesting because I'm not used to the smell. Not that I dislike it, but it's just I'm not used to the smell. So it just it just made me think of like maybe,
it has
like
fragrances or something.
No, not that, but like
okay.
But maybe you're just not used to it, like maybe like something that you're so like used to or fond of, that like is, when you think of that or smell it, you're like, I love this, you know? But I just think it's so interesting that you said that, because I'm funny. Like, we all have different like
preferences.
Yeah, preferences when it comes down to it,
That is so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the Mystique, right?
The beauty oil?
Yeah, the beauty oil. Like it's like, what are your thoughts on that? Do you love it?
I bathe in it.
So funny. Not that I hate it, but it's just like so new to me. So like when you said that, I'm like, wow, like the scents really are like everything, right?
Oh my God. Yeah. And that's like the number one compliment that I get from my clients is like, everything smells so good. And I personally don't think it's like too harsh of a smell. I think it's like the perfect amount. But yeah, I'm also super sensitive to fragrances. So I'm kind of shocked that that's something that I love about Lyra.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and they don't use like fragrances. It's all natural.
It's all like,
derived from
the
that
plant stem cells, basically. But yeah, I used, a product from Face Reality and it smelled like nothing, or like, like I was using, I don't know, something like from a scientist or.
Ow. And I just
Are you okay?
Yes, I have
a little too much rosé over here.
Like literally physically spilling the rosé. I'm kidding. No, that's so interesting to me. Like not that anything's right or wrong, but it just shows how everyone, senses things differently. Like how you like take in things, you know, the products that they're clinical versus something that smells like fragrance, but it's natural, obviously.
Yeah.
But wow, do you remember what product you tried from Face Reality?
I've tried a couple. Yeah. I think it was the Mandelic serum and then the like barrier repair cleanser. They actually sent it to me. It was very nice of them.
Oh.
Yeah. But I also feel like you can't really give a true opinion
off of 2 products.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've seen like you've done great, work with Face Reality. I almost said Lyra. And I don't know if you know who Acne Maddie is.
Yes. I love her.
She's so cute.
I know.
She does great results and just uses, I believe, just Face Reality. She could use like maybe Skin Better too or not.
I don't think so. I think she just used
Face Reality. Yeah. I mean, it's a great line. It's done great work. But honestly, like I feel like taking my before and afters, I've been able to achieve similar results.
I mean, I think it comes down to like what you're an expert in. Yeah. So, I mean, you are a Lyra clinical expert. So it's worked for you personally. You have studied and you've, the
very familiar with the line.
You're so familiar with the line. It would take me years to achieve the results that you get. You've had years of experience. So, I mean, it just comes down to what works for you and your clients and personal experience. I think that's really awesome that you've been able to achieve that and feel, from personal experience. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed spilling the rosé with us. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any specific questions, we will be back with Maddie, so be sure to drop them in the comment section. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.